Play that ignited the Sooners was a 61-yard touchdown run by J.C. Watts of Oklahoma, their quarterback, that tied the game, and then Oklahoma took over from there. Let's watch J.C. Watts.
Well, we've talked about explosion. Now, his hometown is Miami, Florida. You know how many favorites he has right here now. When he got by, he was gone.
J.C. Watts takes it into the end zone. That was the game-tying touchdown with a subsequent extra point. And look at the total yards for Oklahoma, 149, all on the ground. No yards passing. So right now, ready to kick the ball off are the Oklahoma Sooners. Kelly Burney is back deep for Florida State. He'll be standing at the goal line. And ready to kick off for Oklahoma is Darrell Ray. A senior All-American defensive back from Killeen, Texas, Darrell Ray. And that Oklahoma secondary, they came up with a big play. HEBERT with the interception that subsequently was turned into the go-ahead touchdown.
Donnie, you know, I just mentioned that J.C. Watts was from Miami, Florida. Obviously, he's from Eufaula, Oklahoma. So the people in Eufaula know that I was telling a lie. It's Eugene Nixon.
There's a couple of Sooners from Florida, more than a couple. They also look at players down here. And right now, the Oklahoma Sooners with a 17-7 lead are ready to kick it off to start the third quarter of this 1980 Orange Bowl game. Oklahoma fell behind early. The first time they got their hands on the ball was a punt return, you may remember, early in the game. Basil Banks ran it back 67 yards, was headed for the end zone, was hit, and he fumbled. Was recovered the end zone for a touchback. That threat was stopped. Oklahoma with its explosion, though, got it together. Here's the kickoff. Burney with the ball for Florida State. Across the 15-yard line, across the 20, and out to the 24-yard line. Florida State goes on offense first and 10 after a 22-yard return. Darrell Sanji was down to make the tackle for the Sooners. Wally Woodham will open at quarterback in the third quarter. Jimmy Jordan started the game for Florida State. Wally Woodham, as coach Bobby Bowden says, we don't have one first-string quarterback, we have two. They alternate. First and 10, Florida State. 29-yard line, their 24-yard line. They go straight ahead to the fullback, Mark Wiles, who scored 9 touchdowns this past season, averaging 4.4 yards a rush, pushing for just over 1,000 yards.
Well, we know it's a pass play. I don't know what the pattern a Cadillac describes, but it's a three receiver route. Second down and 8. We'll have to wait and see.
Florida State comes into this game with a 15-game win streak, 11 straight this season, a perfect record, the second longest win streak in college football. In the flat, the ball is thrown. They're going to the fullback, Lyles. It was broken up by defensive end Bruce Tatum. Oklahoma plays small, quick defensive ends, almost like linebackers. Tatum 6'4", 211. They'll drop off the line, cover like linebackers, but they can also get down to three-point and come at him on the rush.
You bet. And I bet a lot of people would wonder why he's wearing the number 5. He was a quarterback when he came to Oklahoma. He was such a fine athlete, they had to play him. They didn't play him at quarterback. They played him at defensive end. And as you say, he plays like a linebacker, and at 212, 215, he can move.
They recruit backfield players at Oklahoma. When the Selman brothers came out of Eufaula, they were fullbacks. Here's a throw down the field, and overthrown. Woodham was going into his wide receiver, Jackie Flowers, but again, a Sooner ultimately was the closest to the ball.
Well, Sherwood Taylor made an excellent play. Now, what they've done, as Barry Switzer said, they've used a multiplicity of defenses. They haven't shown you the same look. They've been playing with 3 defensive backs deep. They've been playing with a free safety. We see Bud Ebert way down the field, and they've just mixed it up.
Here comes that first possession of Oklahoma that will be so important for Florida State to establish. Stop it if they can. Ron Stark with a high punt downfield. Ball is taken. Return past the 35-yard line. Running with the ball for Oklahoma was Darrell Shepard. There's a penalty marker down on the return. 42-yard punt by Stark to Florida State. Give you an idea, the athletes they recruited at Oklahoma, George Cumby, their consensus All-American linebacker, came in as a running back. And they say right now he is the second best running back on the football team next to Billy Sims, but such a good defensive player that they have him there.
You were talking about recruiting, and you know, Bobby Bowden has a necessity to recruit extremely well, at least by 1981, because he plays 5 of the top 10 teams in the country in succession away during that period of time.
Yeah, he's got some tough ones coming up in 81. Right now with 13:56 to play in the third quarter. We pause in the action here at the 1980 Orange Bowl, and we'll return with Oklahoma. Now let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is 23, KNDO Yakima.
With John Brody and Bob Crumpy, this is Don Crickey at the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami. Oklahoma in the lead, 17-7. The Sooners with their first possession of the third quarter. J.C. Watts at quarterback. His All-American Billy Sims breaks it. Sims with one man to beat, turns outside, and a great open field tackle is made by Bobby Butler that could have saved Billy Sims going 81 yards for a touchdown.
Bobby Butler has made 3 or 4 outstanding open field tackles. Now that's a typical play where Billy Sims goes 71, goes 77. Now on the 3 occasions where he's broken loose at the line of scrimmage, and you can see them just taking people and blowing them out up in the middle, and you don't see it when Ron Simmons is in there very often. Billy Sims gets free. Butler makes a great saving tackle. Could have saved a touchdown.
26-yard gain on the play, and so it is 1st and 10 for Oklahoma. They go right back to the run, and again they deliver. Carrying the ball straight ahead, the fullback, Stanley Wilson. Scott Warren, the defensive end, made the knockdown on the play. Oklahoma comes out flying, John.
We mentioned it's imperative for Florida State that they stop him on the first drive, because Oklahoma can absolutely blow you out when they get things going their way.
2nd down and 3 coming up for the Sooners. Getting a little colder now in Miami. Here is the handoff. They go straight ahead. 1st down carry. Billy Sims runs the ball straight at the Florida State Seminoles. Mark Mosick and Paul Porowski knocked him down, but Billy Sims has a Sooner 1st down. 149 yards rushing in the first half for Oklahoma. They didn't have a single yard passing. J.C. Watts, he ignited his team with that 61-yard quarterback keeper for a touchdown. Billy Sims scored 22 touchdowns this season, 132 points. He knows where that end zone is and gets there often, and now they go right back to him. This time the run is shut down by Scott Warren, number 80 for Florida State.
All right, we've discussed previously that it's been hard for Ron Simmons, one of the finest down linemen, if not the finest, number 50 in the white and red jersey with the gold pants, by the way. You can see why he's not in on many plays. They've assigned 2 or 3 down linemen to handle it. They're going to get him out of the way, and if they make something from there, fine.
Watch that Oklahoma center, though. Tabor come off the ball. He's putting a hard hit on Simmons right off the play. This time he goes at the middle backer. Free football. Florida State has the ball. So Oklahoma with its 2nd fumble of the night. Might be Ron Simmons off the bottom of the pile. Coming up with the ball is Arthur Scott, number 54. Simmons and Scott go for it, and Arthur Scott comes up with the ball. So Florida State stops the Oklahoma drive. Beneficiaries of a turnover. It's 1st and 10 for the Seminoles at their 43-yard line. Big draw. Woodham takes a look. Now he's going to run the ball. Dove ahead and got only 2. Got to the 45. It'll be 2nd down and 8. George Cumby was coming at him, and Woodham knew he didn't want to get hit by that.
Well, actually, they're running patterns in anticipation of certain defenses that they're not seeing. That time they're trying to go to the spread end to the short side of the field on the left. He goes back. He's got 1 receiver in the pattern. They've got 3 defenders triple covering him. Now, when you fool somebody, it doesn't matter how good your structure is, you're fooled.
On 2nd and 8, Woodham takes a deep drop, stands in, throws, it's too high. Mike Babb, the right corner, and Sherwood Taylor converging on the coverage. Florida State Trying to get the ball upfield, but coverage is good. Phil Williams running the batter, number 87.
All right, when you find that it's not covered the first play, sometimes you're a little late coming to the open man on the second play. This play would only have been good for 4 or 5 yards if he'd thrown it on the break. Right now, they've got to find a way to get somebody open.
Woodham has thrown the ball 4 times. He's yet to make a completion for Florida State. 3rd down and 8 now for the Seminoles. Woodham swings it out. Too much to the lead on the ball for his fullback. Mark Lyles, the fullback, too much lead on it. So Woodham has failed to move the Florida State Seminoles in this series. They'll have to punt the ball back to Oklahoma.
At least push up the field more before they come on the square end. Yeah. Okay, well, run up. Okay. Hey, X and Z's, come here. X and Z's.
Those are the wide receivers, Donnie, and they do have to get it together.
Ron Stark in to punt again. Oklahoma sets up the coverage. Stark hits a knuckleball downfield, moving up, letting it roll now. The Sooners let it roll down inside the 15-yard line to about the 13. Darrell Shepard took a look at it, let it roll, and Coach Barry Switzer in his 8th year as the head coach of the Sooners shakes his head. His touchdown stop in a hole. And Wilson ready to go now. Oklahoma on offense, 1st and 10, second possession of the second half. Fumbled away the last time. Sooners lead as they did at halftime, 17-7. Billy Sims breaks it, and Sims gets across the 20 and out to the 24-yard line. An 11-yard gain, a first down for the Sooners. Free safety Monk Bonasort saved him from going a lot farther.
You know what? Bonasort, he did stop the play, all right? But Bobby Butler, again, has to make the final hit. Now, I don't know. They must feel like they know each other very well after as much as they've seen of one another tonight. But it just amazes me that a guy like Butler can be in on play after play and not allow him to get past him.
Well, Merv Johnson, the assistant head coach of Oklahoma, said they've never seen a secondary that can tackle on the run like Florida State. They make plays all over the field, and very few teams do off the dead run. Now, J.C. Watts comes spinning upfield and turns it across the 35-yard line of the Sooners and out to the 37. Heath Jones, the strong safety, got him. The tackles are coming from the Florida State secondary, and they're coming 10 and 12 yards downfield.
And Keith Jones, as well as we've seen Butler hit all night, is the man that's known to be the best secondary hitter on the Florida State University Ball Club. All of them are hitters, but they're extremely good at pass defense.
First down and 10 for Oklahoma. The ball to the 37-yard line of the Sooners. Here's a throw, and Watts gets it out to Freddie Nixon. Nixon's knee apparently was down when he made the turn, but he does get the good gainer. It's about an 8-yard pickup out to the 44-yard line.
When you can run as well as Watts can, you can bet your wide receivers are going to be pretty cleanly open when you run little play-action passes and fake options, as was Nixon.
Well, something else you'll see, John, in this Oklahoma offense. Forrest Valora, sure-handed tight end, number 82. He will block and block and block for 3 quarters, and all of a sudden they'll send him deep, like they did against Nebraska with the deciding touchdown. He went 58 yards into the end zone for a score. On a pass reception, nobody covered him after a while. Now on the 2nd and 2 carry, Billy Sims drives it straight ahead for 7 yards in an Oklahoma first down. Louis Oubre and Terry Crouch, the left side of the offensive line, lead the blocking.
The offensive line right now is winning the line of scrimmage as far as Oklahoma is concerned. We can see Tabor on Simmons. Simmons has had a tough time getting his hand on the ball carry, and when the ball carry's been Sims, I don't believe they've met all night.
Billy Sims has run with the ball 13 times. He's gained 97 yards for Oklahoma. The 3rd quarter clock winds down now, 9:05 to play. 1st and 10 Sooners. First back through is Stanley Wilson, the fullback, and he turns outside. And again, it is the Florida State secondary that must bring him down. Oklahoma, John, is breaking that first wave of defense.
Up to 43.
Say, Don, you know, the center, Tabor, Don Key, the guard, Crouch, the 3 of them are all having a piece of Ron Simmons. Now, there's no one man that's going to handle him alone. It might look like he's getting his lunch handed to him, but he's a great football player. The people standing next to him are going to have to start pulling up the slack, and they haven't been doing it.
Well, they say Simmons is getting off light when he gets a double team. Good part of the time he's got 3 guys blocking on him. On 2nd down and 5, Oklahoma goes right back to the run. Billy Sims, a senior from Hooks, Texas, takes it across and inside the 40-yard line and down to the 38-yard line of Florida State. Billy Sims started the season at 218 pounds. He's playing right now at 208, 6 feet tall. Exceptional leg strength, very powerful. Take those tackles on his thighs and bounce right off. Now, his great attribute, as all the great ones have, is balance. He's an inch off the ground, he picks it up, spins, and he's still going. Now he's over 100 yards for the night, 14 carries, 101.
I can remember when Billy Brooks was a #1 draft choice out of Oklahoma, and I think he'd caught 7 or 8 balls all year long. People wondered why was he drafted #1 as a wide receiver, because they do have scouts who come down here and check the little things that are very important to a pro franchise, such as, is Billy Sims the sort of fellow that can catch the ball as an offensive receiver? He might become one of the greatest offensive receivers if something ever happened to him and they didn't use him as a running back. He's a natural catching the ball.
3rd down and inches, and J.C. Watts calls his own #1, takes it straight ahead. He's shut down quickly. Simmons fended off the block and powered in there to hit on J.C. Watts. But we'll see if he got enough for the 1st down. Last year, 10 Oklahoma players were drafted to play in the National Football League. All 10 made the roster. A lot of them are starting as rookies. Another one playing pro football as a free agent, 11. They have more players in the NFL than any school, 37. J.C. Watts has got some impressive numbers running the ball. Our statistician Hank Goldberg pointing out here he is 9 carries for 86 yards. Sims 101. 1st down Oklahoma. Watts rolling out. He tripped up. Linebacker Reggie Herring shot the gap. Made a play on Watts in the backfield. Slowed him up and he finally went down. But again, he got ahead for yardage. Watts is a junior. 5'11", strong, 205 pounds. Have an awful lot to look at. The deception of the wishbone offense. They say it's a difficult offense to come from behind with. So tough to throw out of it. Oklahoma's rarely behind.
I was going to say, they don't get much behind with it.
We're tonight, but came right back. It's 17-7 Oklahoma. 7:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. They go to Billy Sims. Power off the right side. Ed Culver and Don Key and Forrest Valora, the tight end, all blocking straight ahead. And Sims, with that great acceleration, moves it on through. There's Larry Zonka. He was a college roommate of Syracuse. At Syracuse was one of the Florida State coaches, Nick Kish. Bobby Bowden's liable to send Big Zonk in there in a minute. Now let's go down to Bob Trumpy.
Twin brother of Paul Tabor, the Oklahoma center. How's your brother doing, Phil?
He's looked like he's faring pretty good. I don't know. They're moving the ball all right now, and if they're moving the ball now, it means he's doing a pretty good job, I guess.
Was he excited about this ball game? Did he think he'd have trouble with Simmons?
Oh, they usually double team the nose guard a lot in the wishbone, and they've been running a lot of even man front, which eliminates that. They're a good coaching staff in Florida State, and they knew that, so that's when they've been running that.
Thank you, Phil. One of the 10 draftees into the NFL you were talking about earlier, John, Phil Tabor.
He is. Came as a 4th-round draft choice and started for the New York Giants as a rookie. And we'll come back to the Orange Bowl. Back to live action in the Orange Bowl now. Oklahoma comes out of the huddle. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Florida State sends 6 men up to the defensive front. Fake, handoff, and Billy Sims is knocked down for no gain. That was Reggie Herring, number 39, who got him first. So the Sooners will have to punt the ball back unless they go for a home run field goal.
Well, we mentioned that they're putting so many people in the middle of the line to try and handle Simmons that the people just to his outside have got to pick up the slack. Herring has picked it up on the past 2 plays. As a result, they've got a punt.
Mike Keeling, the freshman from Dallas, who does all the kicking for Oklahoma, place kicking and the punting. Standing back at the 48-yard line of Florida State. Gary Henry is back for the Seminoles, standing at his 10. Bullet snap. Hunt carrying inside the 5 and hops on into the end zone for a touchback, and Florida State will come out on offense 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Tonight, Florida State fans starting up as their Seminoles come out. Tonight, KPRC in Houston and the NBC TV network mark 30 years together. So congratulations and the very best to Jack Harris, the president, and everyone at Channel 2 in Houston, KPRC. We have 6:17 left to play in the third quarter. Stanley Wilson, rookie fullback, being attended to. They've got another great freshman, first-year player, Weldon Ledbetter, who might be in the game shortly. Here's a handoff, turning the corner, is coming wide as Mike Whiting, who you'll remember scored the game's first touchdown. He pays as he turns the corner. Cumby, 28, came up and struck him.
Right 91.
Right 91. Looks like some sort of a draw. You'll notice right now that Bowden might be thinking about running the ball a little bit more, but just to take advantage of the fact that Oklahoma's now using 5 backs.
Second down and 5. They do indeed go to the draw. Straight ahead, it is to Mark Lyles, who powers across the 30. It looks like he has a Florida State first down.
He's got a first down. I'll tell you, it puts such a burden on those linebackers when you don't have 3 of them. If you've only got 2 and you're also playing with 4 down linemen, there's a gap in there somewhere. If you double team, you'll create a natural hole. They did so over the center, and it wasn't too tough to pick up a first down.
John Madden down over the ball at center. Mike Good and Greg Futz the guards for Florida State. Tom Brannon and Ken Lanier the tackles. Pitch back goes. And here comes Whiting dancing, and he moves inside and takes it out across the 35-yard line to the 36. On a first down carry, he got 6.
I think that's enough, huh? L46. George, let's come back with a Y cross, 344 Y, 344 Y, 344 Y cross. Let's see if we can get that.
This will be a running play, but he's trying to set up a play number pass. His tight end.
Pitch back goes. Whiting with good move, straight into open field, and then cuts back inside against the Oklahoma defense, takes the ball across the 45-yard line and out to the 48. He was finally brought down by Darrell Ray. An 11-yard gain.
You know, their offensive line is fine, and they're holding people out. They're now making a few grooves up in the middle. We mentioned there's no linebackers to pull up the slack. You know, George Cumby may be as fine a linebacker as there is in the country, but he's no match to fill a 5-yard hole.
A good look a second time. Our producer tonight for NBC is Mike Weissman. Our director is Ken Fouts. Here's Michael Whiting turning the corner, coming across the 45-yard line, and a first down carry. He might have lost a yard as Oklahoma shut it down. Barry Bergen blocked off the last time he made the play.
L, hand back at 5.
It was L.
George, I want an L. I want to come back with a Y cross now.
Chevy me.
I want to hit the Y on the cross. How can you get it?
Chevy, call Chevy.
Yeah, he'll look for Z.
No, Chevy, just saying Chevy wide cross.
Got to get in the same page here, the coaches.
Trying to get his tight end over the middle, but in the meantime, he's going to be running the ball.
Second down and 11. They go to Whiting. They're not going to be running it far, though, as the Sooners are starting to shoot the gap. John Goodman,
L,
number 72.
344 Chevy, Y cross. Tell him to hit Y.
Play action pass with their tight end over the middle. Most play action passes are meant to hold linebacker. If it does hold Cumby, they'll be able to get to their tight end over the middle.
Sam Childers is the tight end right now, number 84. Early in the game on a 3rd and 10 play, you may remember they went to tight end Grady King and got the first down. Let's play. Tight end releases over the middle. There's the throw. The ball is caught by Childers. He got it for a first down. Big reception by Sam Childers. Junior from Tallahassee, Florida.
All right, he makes a fine play, and you can see that Woodham comes to him just a little bit late. They run out of room. The ball has to be thrown as well as it can possibly be thrown for them to get the reception. That's fine execution under tough circumstance.
14-yard gain downfield, so now Florida State starts to move the ball. They have it at the 40-yard line of Oklahoma. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Sooners are leading by 10, 17-7. Right back to the pass goes Wally Woodham. He's got room to run. And Woodham takes it down to the 35-yard line of the Sooners. He gained 5 yards on the quarterback keep when the coverage was there and no pass was open.
Don, they're dropping so many people back right now, they're going to give FSU 4 or 5 yards running the football. They don't feel that's the way they're going to be beat. They've got a 10-point lead. They're going to make FSU execute. If they can do that, let them have a few points.
Second down and 5 coming up. Whittam goes right back to throw. Cumby was coming on a blitz. Whittam delivers. Oh, it might be intercepted. It looks like Bud Hebert has his second of the night. That's the ruling. He's got it.
Don, it's really hard to tell when you have an outstanding free safety back there at Oklahoma, because they don't throw too much against him. When they do, they throw to the outside. This fella looks like an opportunist. They give him the job of standing in the back, playing center field. You can see they had a little bit of foul up on pattern. Woodham threw the ball a little bit in front of the receiver, and Hebert was there to make the turnover.
So Hebert is having a big night. He's got 2. One led to the go-ahead touchdown when he ran it back to the 10-yard line. And right now the Oklahoma Sooners, leading as they did at the half, take over first and 10, 17-7. 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Valora switches from left to right. The tight end. Second back through is Billy Sims, and he's out to the 25-yard line. He gained about 3.5.
Make a foul. Billy said, all right, I just line up it out.
Yeah, but don't blow it.
Yes, sir.
That took care of that problem. What they were discussing is the fact that the tight end ran into the wide receiver. When he did so, he couldn't get into the area they were trying to throw the ball. And, you know, the sideline is no place for sweetness.
Not usually. There's even less on the field. Second down and 6. J.C. Watts hands off. And there is Weldon Ledbetter, a 6'2", 210-pound first-year fullback from St. Louis. Now, I think we see a yellow flag down there. Is it just something that flew out in the field? Yes, it is.
First down.
Monk Bonator again made the tackle.
Where's the tackle? Come there, Richard.
He's had a full night's work.
There you go. All the way. Now, let's wire.
You got to tackle better than we did.
Corners, you still got to look for the sweep plays here.
They have backs, and then they have more backs at Oklahoma. Weldon Ledbetter is the up back, the fullback. J.C. Watts carries the ball. He's not done yet. J.C. Watts takes it across midfield and gets down inside the 45-yard line of Florida State. He's down to the 44. Reggie Herring finally knocked him down with a 22-yard gain on the play as Watts, the quarterback's over 100 yards for the night.
Watts does such a fine job of making the proper move at the proper time. You can see he and Sims work so well together. He's staying the proper distance between them. But when Watts makes the cut, he knows he's got something right now. He takes what they give him and he picks up the first.
JC's planning to be a sports announcer. He's in the sports communications major at Oklahoma.
He's singing.
Not at all. Gets in the end zone. He did that tonight. 50 seconds to go now in the third quarter. Oklahoma on a first down carry advances the ball down to the 40. Billy Sims got the call. And Walter Carter and Ron Simmons tackled it. Here comes the play in from the sideline. Bobby Grayson. Wide receiver comes in. Florida State was moving. You heard Coach Bowden say to his players on the sideline, we're getting people open. Let's hit it. 25 seconds. Clock running. Third quarter. 17-7 Oklahoma. Second down and 6. Rolling out is Watts. And Watts is down inside the 40, well short of a first down. Reggie Herring made the play. Every year, the Florida State linebackers lead the team in tackles. That's primarily because a player like Simmons up in front, getting those double and triple team backs, it frees a lot of things for them. Third quarter just ran out. Let's go down to Coach Bowden. We'll be back with the fourth quarter.
Oklahoma bench, George Cumby, All-American linebacker, there with problems with his eyes, got stuff in his eye. Are you all right, George?
Yeah, I'm all right. Did you just dirt in it? That's all. Just a little dirt popped up in my eye.
Is it tough for you playing against the pass offense of Florida State out there?
No, it's just that we didn't have the right things at first, you know, to go against it. But now we saw what they done. Now we can do, you know, get everything down like we should.
That's one guy Oklahoma needs for the rest of the night. George Cumby. Back to you, Don.
Well, as Coach Barry Switzer says, he's one guy he thinks could go head-on with Earl Campbell and knock him backwards. I'd like to see that, but he can hit. Free football. Watts picks it up, throws it. Freddie Nixon sees it come in on the one hop.
Hey, you know, both these defenses are making the opposing offenses do what they'd like to have them do. That was a third down play in which they got Oklahoma to throw the ball. Oklahoma, conversely, has made FSU run the ball. Neither one is effective at doing either. And if they can create that sort of situation from a defensive standpoint, they're doing their job. Maybe that's why we had no points scored in the third quarter.
Not a one. We're in the fourth quarter now. 3 seconds into it. 14:57. Here's Keeling into punt for the Sooners. Standing back at his 46, hits it from midfield. A high punt. Their catch is signaled for, and it's made. Gary Henry comes up on the ball, makes it to the 15-yard line. So we'll see Florida State come out of throwing when we come back to the Orange Bowl in Miami. 24-yard punt placed downfield of the 15. The score remains the Sooners of Oklahoma 17. Florida State 7. Across the 15-yard line to about the 18. Want to keep that Oklahoma pass rush on us. They're going to be
left 290 Cadillac.
Oh, Phil.
Drag, Coach. 290 Cadillac, Don. That's another pattern. 2nd, 6 throwing situation.
Bill Williams comes out on the right flank. Jackie Flowers is out to the left. 2nd down and 7. Williams stands in. Throws over the middle. And the ball was very nearly intercepted. They were going to Bill Williams. Jay Jimerson, a junior defensive back. Number 15 had a play on the ball and almost
How about either
Jay Jimerson made an outstanding play. He came all the way from the left corner position to make that play.
left flex 68 Z drag?
Z drag, Don. That's the receiver to the tight end side of the field.
That thing pretty good. Hey, Coach, we nearly had that thing play. That thing nearly broke big. If he could have made that play.
It did break big. They beat it, but they did not execute it.
Woodham has hit only 1 of 8 passes for 14 yards. That first down throw to Childers. Here's a tip ball. They're going to Jackie Flowers. Big John Goodman, the fastest defensive lineman they may have ever had at Oklahoma, would put the rush on. Number 72.
I better get Jimmy loosened up. Jimmy, get loosened up. We got to have some throws.
The Cadillac, I'll follow.
Going back to his other quarterback now.
Cadillac, yes, sir.
Well, they're going back to the one that started the ball game, Don, and you notice he does insert them not because they're doing well or not well, but generally because of the style of the play. And you can look for that thing to go down the field.
Ron Stark punts it downfield. Here's Darrell Ray Fair catching the ball at his 49-yard line for Oklahoma. 33-yard punt on the play. And so with 13:58 to play in the game, the Oklahoma Sooners leading us into the half, 17-7, take over the ball.
Copier companies have been introducing small copiers with a very interesting claim.
It's just as good as a Xerox.
It's just as good as a Xerox. Then one day...
This compact copier is very versatile. It even copies on your own letterhead. It's inexpensive, but best of all...
I know, it's just as good as a Xerox.
It is a Xerox.
The Xerox 2600, the compact copier that really is just as good as a Xerox.
Sorry, no experience, no job.
But where do I get the experience?
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We don't ask for experience. We give it. You won't read it in a book. You live it. Pick a service. Pick a challenge. Set yourself apart. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. What a great place. It's a great place to start.
He's a city of Miami gets behind the Orange Bowl. It is not only a great football classic, it's a great week. The Orange Bowl parade and many things to go with it. Under Executive Director Dan McNamara and Eugene Cohen, the president of the Orange Bowl Committee. They certainly treat everybody from NBC very well. We have the president of NBC Sports here, Arthur Watson, Executive Vice President Jeff Mason. Everybody's been down here about a week. They might stay. Here's Freddie Nixon with the ball. Open throw down to the 21-yard line. Reggie Herring saved the touchdown as Freddie Nixon. He's a greyhound. Look at him bounce when he runs.
Oh, he's got to be licking his chops all game long because they've been running that option. They've been doing so effectively. Now a little fake. He goes back. This is the man that lives in Miami in front of his hometown group. In his last year, he's doing quite a job. he is the leading receiver for the Sooners. Not a whole lot of catches, but they've mostly been big ones.
Whoa! 30-yard gain on the play. Here's a free ball, and Florida State comes back with the football. Mark Mosick, number 67, a junior from Wyandotte, Michigan, gets the ball back for Florida State. So they're still in it out of the Seminoles with 13:31 to play.
344 Z corner. 344 Z corner.
Okay, 344 Z corner, play action pass. He's going to his wide receiver, the side of the tight end, trying to get him to the corner on first down. They've got to get something moving. When they do, they try to get Jimmy Jordan in there to go down the field long.
Lost tonight. Now Jimmy Jordan back in the game at quarterback after starting, and he's ready to let it rip. Long arm, he fires in the flat. Intercepted by Oklahoma. Bud Hebert has his third interception of the football game.
And he played that ball from the time it was snapped from center. He was playing center field on the flag. He went back, he followed Jordan all the way back in the pocket. He kind of cruised out there and lulled him into throwing the ball to the corner. When he did so, he fooled both the receiver and the quarterback.
Bud Hebert, starting at free safety, a 6', 185-pound senior from Beaumont, Texas. All right. 3 interceptions.
Jordan's going to the outside all the way. Hebert's there to pick it off from the time it's thrown.
He's having a Vernon Perry day tonight. Last year, Hebert was the guy who held in Columbus, Ohio for Von Schauman's game-deciding field goal. Started at wide receiver one game for Oklahoma, plays defensive back. You can see he knows how to catch the ball as a wide receiver. No matter which way he's going. Here's another free ball, and it looks like Florida State has it again. The guys are coughing up the ball. The net result of this is a substantial gain for Florida State. They get the ball about 20 yards farther down the field.
Don, the impressive thing to me is the way Oklahoma has hung in there when they have turned the ball over. 4 fumbles is just about par for their course. But, I mean, to have your defense hang in there and keep making turnover after turnover when people are expecting you to wilt, that's putting up.
So the Sooners keep Florida State in it. Confident back up at 17-7 Oklahoma, but a lot of time to play. 13-17 to go. Jordan pitches back. Whiting runs with the ball. And Oklahoma's there to shut it down. Scott Dawson, number 78, led the charge. Also on the play for Oklahoma was 72, John Goodman, senior from Garland, Texas. Second down, it was a 3-yard pickup on the play. Second down, a long 7 coming up for Florida State at their 38-yard line.
You'll get some sort of play against the flow right now. Reverse.
Running with the ball is Sam Platt. Turns the corner. He got across the 40, not to about the 42-yard line. It'll leave him some 5 yards short of a first down. Sam can move it out, though.
Listen, I want to right 290, wide out. You take off. Okay. Right 290, wide out.
Jackie Flowers are going to take off and look for a thrown ball.
And he'll probably get it if he can beat that defense. Play action pass again.
If he doesn't get it, Hebert will. Third down and 4, Florida State. Jordan throws hard, hits his tight end. Sam Childers coming back at the ball.
That was a very well-run pattern by Childers, too. Hey, we mentioned that they've been covering him a little closer in the middle. They're trying to put the free safety in a position to pick up the tight end. Okay, Sheldon Taylor, just a little late.
So Childers with his second third down reception for a first down in this game. He's made some big plays. That time he came back and the ball was his dog. First and 10, Florida State, 48-yard line of Oklahoma. Back to Whiting, turning the corner. Whiting takes on the challenge. Mike Babb holds his ground, knocks him down. George Cumby was also on the ground.
He doesn't? You want to pitch out? R46 halfback pass.
pretty self-explanatory, isn't it, Donnie? That doesn't mean it's going to them. It means it's going from them.
It comes on a 2nd down and 6 play for Florida State at the 44-yard line of Oklahoma. High set in the backfield. Deep back is Whiting. Up back is the big fullback Lyles. Pitch back to Whiting. He's looking to cock his arm and unload. Now he turns upfield. Didn't get there. 3rd down will come up. Jackie Flowers is open from the
3rd down and 3. Okay, now how about a little 4-Z reverse? L, R. No, R.
44Z reverse, 3rd down and 4. It's a wide receiver reverse. They tried it a moment ago, picked up about 4, and that's just what they've got left to pick up a first down.
Jordan's combined numbers for the game throwing are 7 of 15 for 86 yards. He's been intercepted twice. End around, running high with the ball, and Sam Platt turns the corner, and there is the big play coming up to make the tackle with Barry Dittman, number 38. Well, 2 good Oklahoma linebackers. It came on a 3rd down carry. It was short of the first down.
Punt it. It's 4th down, ain't it? Punt it. Punt it. Punt it. What do you think of it? That's the ball.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I tell you, that's the quality that a good coach has to have, Don. When you sit there and you listen to a lot of anxiety on the sideline, you listen to a lot of temper, and you have to be willing to make a statement or a decision at a time when it looks like everything's a bit chaotic. And I think that's been one of Bowden's strengths over the years, and he thinks it's the best thing to do right now. And I kind of agree with him. They haven't been moving the ball at all offensively, and they've been getting it back defensively.
Now they kick it down inside the 5, and the ball is down, and Coach Bowden, his strategy holds up very well.
You bet. Oklahoma's fumbled the ball 4 times. It's no sense to get it out down there. FSU needs a break. Maybe they can.
The Jayhawker, Gale Sayers, Hall of Fame talent for the Chicago Bears. That's why that was against the 49ers, wasn't it?
Yeah, thank you.
It was an off track, too. Wasn't it a wet field?
We got the ball a lot, but we didn't hang on to it long.
9:11 to play. Oklahoma leads 17-7, but the Sooners start out from their 1. They go to the fullback, and he's not going to get much. Florida State's in quickly to shut down the run. That'll bring up 2nd down. Stanley Wilson, the freshman fullback. So the Oklahoma Sooners takes the ball out.
Don, he got some. When you get 3 yards, whether you're on the other team's 5 or inside your own 5, that's just like a goal line situation. They must stuff Oklahoma if you're FSU right now for them to get back in this ball game. They know it, and they're going to sacrifice a few things defensively to stop it.
2nd down and a long 6 for Oklahoma. They go to the run. They break it. And again, they go to the fullback, Wilson, and he's straight ahead. And he has a first down for the Sooners out to the 16-yard line.
Okay, Oklahoma has been with their back to the wall twice tonight inside their 4-yard line. Both times they've come up and made a first down, and the first 2 times they carried the ball. Stanley Wilson, the freshman, played a big part in it. He's coming on pretty fast.
So the Sooners move it out. They were deep in their own area, back inside their 2-yard line. Now they have it 1st and 10 at the 16. J.C. Watts tries to turn upfield. Montessort was on the play. Florida State runs it down well. Short gain on the play out to the 19. 2nd down and 7. J.C. Watts has run 13 times for 116 yards for Oklahoma. Billy Sims has run 19 times for 116 yards. Between them, they have 232 yards rushing. On a 2nd down and 7 play, Oklahoma goes to the run. David Overstreet leads the blocking. Stanley Wilson does the carrying. And Wilson has the ball out to the 25-yard line where he's knocked down by Reggie Herring. Very importantly for Oklahoma and certainly for Florida State is the clock, which is winding down at 7:15 to play in the game. Oklahoma, with its wishbone offense, controls the game clock.
What's your field pass?
I think it might be a good time, Don, to mention that, Ed Culver, Don Keith, Paul Tabor, Terry Crouch, Louis Oubre, the offensive line for Oklahoma has gotten them out of a hole twice.
Go ahead. They're good. 3rd down and less than a yard. And Oklahoma goes to the run and gets yet another first down, so they move the chain markers and get 4 new downs to work with. Don Key is out. Freshman has been playing the game at right guard. Valora's been blocking well. The tight end, 82. They've not gone to him yet with the pass. But Jim Carter's now in at right guard. There is really a difference. Turning the corner. On a first down carry is J.C. Watson. He might have lost a yard. Bring up second and at least 10 as Barry Switzer looks on. Freddie Nixon comes in the game now to play wide receiver for Oklahoma, brings in the play. Second down and 10 for the Sooners. They lead the game 17-7. Game clock is down to 6 minutes to play. Pitch back. Billy Sims, not done yet. Billy Sims down the far sideline, crosses the Oklahoma 40 and gets out to the 44-yard line where Reggie Herring knocked him down. 15-yard gain for Billy Sims, who now has 131 yards rushing in the game on 20 carries.
We have noticed all night that Bobby Butler's been making game-saving tackles. This time is the first time that Sims had a one-on-one situation with Butler and actually beat him. Picked up the first down and kept the Sooners drive alive.
Oklahoma goes right back to the run. Stanley Wilson, the fullback, got the ball. Ivory Joe Hunter, the right cornerback, number 46, knocked him down. Every one of those Oklahoma backs takes a shot on every play because you've got to play a man-to-man against the Windsor. You never know who has the ball with the deception that's inherent to it.
They might even have to do a little better than that right now. They might have to put 9 or 10 men up there, and if they throw it, that's just what she wrote. Because they've got to get the ball back. There's only 5 minutes left to play. They've got to make a touchdown and a field goal.
Sims has stood up hard as he takes a head-on shot. Reggie Herring clean line on Sims and leveled him. The Sooners keep running the clock. It's down to 4:40 to play in the game. Third down coming up for Oklahoma. Third down and 4. Tom beat of the Seminole power starts up. Oklahoma is controlling the ball game right now, leading 17-7. Handoff first back through the fullback Wilson. Stanley Wilson takes it down close to a first down. Third down and 3 carry. Wilson got it down close to the 46-yard line of Florida State. That time Paul Porowski, 53, the other linebacker, was on the tackle.
Left to play, they might as well throw 11 men out there and hope they can't even play catch and get it to the fella, because that's the only chance they have. They've got to get the ball back, one more first down, puts them right out of luck. We've heard so much about both of these offenses, and yet it's the defenses in the second half that are carrying the load, and that's what most of your good teams are made of.
First down and 10 for Oklahoma. Right back to the run. Right up the middle, Stanley Wilson carries the ball. He advanced it down close to the 41-yard line of Florida State. Monk Guanasort, the free safety, made the tackle for Florida State. And the game clock continues to tick away. 3:30, 3:27 left to go. Chief Osceola and his horse Renegade hadn't had a chance to loop that field in a long time. Florida State's only touchdown came early when they took a 7-0 lead. They've not been on the board since. We'll be back at the Orange Bowl with John Brody and Bob Trumpy. This is Don Crickey back at the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami. 3:27 left to play in the game. The Oklahoma Sooners, who led 17-7 at the half, still have that 10-point advantage. And they're driving the ball now down the field and controlling the clock. Second down and 6 is coming up for Oklahoma at the 42-yard line of Florida State. J.C. Watson, quarterback. Second back through is Billy Sims. And tackles made by Keith Baker. Let's go down to Bob Trumpy.
With Barry Switzer on the sideline, Coach, your team has finally established yourself as a real powerhouse in offense.
Well, we had a great field position. We never had any opportunity to score the ball. We made too many mistakes. This is, I hope, a 99-yard drive to control the ball. But the game's not over, Bob.
The number of times you fumbled, do you have any reason for that other than the timing for the wishbone?
No, it's good defense. You know, our fumbles were made because people hit them. It wasn't the execution of our offense. It was individuals' physical contact.
Barry Switzer, Oklahoma coach. Back to you, Don.
Ball isn't that heavy, is it, Bob, to drop it?
It is if you get unloaded on it.
It's real heavy.
Plenty heavy.
13th play in this drive. Oklahoma started at their 1. As Coach Switzer pointed out, they might be taking it 99 yards. They're working on it. Right ahead they go, and the great acceleration of Billy Sims takes the ball down to the 35-yard line of Florida State. There could be another first down. It is.
Let's go. Oh, let's score.
There's Bud Hebert, Orange Bowl MVP on defense. 3 interceptions, an Orange Bowl record. J.C. Watts, the quarterback for the Sooners, who ran that one in from scrimmage, 61 yards for the first touchdown. He's been voted the most valuable player on offense. J.C. Watts. I'd like to thank the Sports Information Director, Mark Carlson of Florida State, and Ned Smith of Florida State, and also Sports Information Director Mike Treps of Oklahoma, and his assistant, Travis Lawrence. Running into the end zone, and there go the Sooners. Billy Sims on the payoff end. So Oklahoma breaks it down the stretch, 1:58 to play, and the Sooners take it in 35 yards and a touchdown.
We mentioned if you get him outside one-on-one long enough, no one man can make a tackle on him in the open field. Now, earlier in the evening, they put Butler in that bind. He was up to the task, and he handled it. Now, Watts creates the situation for Sims. Nobody can handle this man once he gets out in this position.
Watts doing a great job, though.
That's beautiful.
Billy Sims, rated by the Pro Scouts, is the best talent to come out of college football as a runner since O.J. Simpson. Mike Keeling tries the point after attempt. He drills it up and good. So with 1:58 left to play in the game, Billy Sims throws up the victory finger. So Oklahoma, J.C. Watts pitching back to Billy Sims, who took it the rest of the way on a 35-yard touchdown run play. And the Sooners are out in front 24-7 in this 1980 Orange Bowl game on NBC. 1:58 to play in the game. Kickoff by Keeling. Here comes Bernie for Florida State. Off the 20. Nick high, they get him and bring him down. Coming down for the tackle was Ken Sitton, and now let's go back down to the field and Bob Trumpy.
Don with me, the offensive player of the game, J.C. Watts, 14 carries, 116 yards. Quite a night for you.
Thank you. I tell you what, it's a sweet victory for us. We come down here, we was out-rooted in the stands. I think we was out-rooted something like 70,000 to 10,000 fan-wise. And we came out, and our goal was to go out and create our own excitement. And the first quarter we got started slow, but we came around, and it's sweet. We finally got it going.
Johnny Carson heard your tape of singing. He said, you better play quarterback. J.C. Watts, MVP on offense.
And, of course, the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson will be coming up on NBC following local news from your stations around the country. Right now, we have 1:52 left to play. Local news will air immediately following the telecast of this game. The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson will be seen 30 minutes later, except on the West Coast, where it will air at its normal time. Florida State needs a lot of points in a big hurry. Seminoles having a problem right now as they are down 24-7 with 1:52 to play. Jordan stands in, lets her rip downfield. He throws incomplete. Second down and 10, Florida State. Oklahoma now, John's just laying back.
Well, the Sooners have actually taken away the passing effectiveness of FSU totally in the second half. They haven't allowed any wide receivers to run free. As a result, FSU has scored 0 points.
Right now, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is Channel 23, KNDO, Yakima.
On second down and 10, Jordan stands in. He throws hard. And Oklahoma's Darrell Ray was close to the ball. They were looking at Hardis Johnson.
Have we got any sub linebackers? Still got them in there, huh? Let's get us a Z-square in. Right 6 to 6 Z-square in.
Right now, and it happens to every coach and every quarterback, Don, you get to where you're groping. You find something, you try to hit it. He knows this game is over as far as winning it is concerned. But what a year he's had. I mean, when you come in 6 years from 0-11 to 11-0, and you put a program on the board that in 2 years they're going to play like Nebraska, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Notre Dame in consecutive weeks, and he's going to get that group ready to play them, and they're going to play them away from home. I mean, what a program he's put together. It's great for FSU, and I don't care what the outcome is. He's great for football.
He really is. We'd like to thank him for being so open in his approach to the game, allowing us to put a wireless mic on him so he can hear what goes on the sideline during the game. He's a great individual, and he's won 11 games his team has this year, and I'll guarantee they're going to win a lot more in the years to come. His record is extraordinary as a head coach. He came in here as the head coach at West Virginia, came into Florida State. He has a perpetuating contract he recently signed. Every year it renews for another 5 years. So they have him forever, and they're glad to have him. Here's the long punt downfield. The Sooners just let it roll. Ball goes all the way down inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. So with 1:21 left to play, the number on the board is Oklahoma 24 and Florida State 7. We'll be back. We return to the Orange Bowl in Miami with 1:21 left to play. We thank everyone involved with our NBC coverage of this game. Our producer tonight, Mike Weissman, our director, Ken Fouts. All our NBC technicians is Oklahoma with another impressive win. It will be their 11th of the season. Let's now go to the sidelines and Bob Crumpy.
Thank you, Don. With Bobby Bowden of Florida State. Bobby, coming into this ball game, it was David versus Goliath. 24-7, you're trailing Oklahoma. You can't be too upset.
Yeah, I'm upset. We threw some points away early in the ball game that we needed real bad against these people. I don't think we made a big play. I don't think after the first quarter we made a big play. I don't think we made a big play at all.
Were you surprised that they put 8 people back there in defensive coverage to stop your pass game, or did you expect that from Oklahoma?
Well, yeah, I expected that. I expected them to play 8 deep. I expected them to play 7 deep all the time. And but our inability to move the ball on the ground when they only play a 4-man front, you're not going to win like that. They played 5 defensive backs, and we can't win if we can't move them up front.
Defensively, coming in here trying to stop the Heisman Trophy winner in 1978, J.C. Watts turns out to be the MVP of the game.
Well, he ought to be. He made the big play that beat us. We had a 3rd down and 18, and he runs the the option, and keeps it. And to stop the wishbone, you've got to be very disciplined defensively. Everybody's got to tackle their man. We didn't touch him.
Bobby, at NBC, we want to thank you for wearing a mic. It's been very enlightening for us.
Thank you. I hope I didn't say too many things bad.
Bobby Bowden, head coach of Florida State. Don?
Okay, Bob, on 2nd down and 11. Oklahoma looking to run the game out. Takes the clock down to 1 minute with a straight-ahead carry. Weldon Ledbetter carried the ball. Big day in bowl games. Who is number 1? Certainly the Crimson Tide of Alabama and its many followers have a lot to cheer about as they conclude another unbeaten season, winning today in the Sugar Bowl. Houston coming from behind beats Nebraska in the Cotton Bowl at Dallas 17-14. And USC rallies from behind with Charles White setting a new Rose Bowl rushing record to beat Ohio State 17-16. USC certainly has a challenge for number 1.
Well, you know, Don, as we watch, now you've got to look at this little play. He just runs into the secondary man and flips it back out to the trailing back.
Basketball bounce pass they throw out there.
Yeah.
Chet Winters finally gets the ball.
You know, you were mentioning who has the claim to number 1. In my opinion, USC potentially is the best team in the country, but I really think Alabama played the best football. And if they haven't lost a game and they haven't been tied, and they beat Arkansas convincingly today, and today was supposed to be an indication of who's going to win it, I'd have to give it to Alabama.
Alabama, every time they lined up, they won. Nobody else did every time. Straight ahead carry. Oklahoma runs the ball, and that could be the final play of the game as it winds down. 24-7 will be the final score of the 1980 Orange Bowl. The The Oklahoma Sooners and Coach Barry Switzer again lead the Orange Bowl victorious, as he has now won 4 of 5 bowl games as head coach of the Sooners. Twice his teams have won national championships in 7 seasons as coach there. He goes over to congratulate Bobby Bowden. Those Florida State Seminoles were game, but they were not a match for Oklahoma after the early going of the ball game when Florida State took that 7-0 lead. And then Oklahoma geared up and started to roll.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see more of Bobby Bowden in the future. I think his program has picked up to where they're going to be excellent. You may have seen Barry Switzer's group for the 4th time, and he may be here yearly. But the ball game and the score was not any indication of the difference in the two teams. It was a nice night for Oklahoma. I think Florida State did everything to play good offense.
That is the final score. Oklahoma